I didn't get to see my dad a lot growing up because he is in the U.S. Army. My parents were divorced and my mom had custody of my brother, so we got into fights a lot about that.
Basically, it was like around the time when my grandpa passed, and it was a hard time for like my parents, my brother.
I lost someone really close to me from cancer, and it was just something that I had never experienced before, and it was really hard to deal with. I didn't really have anyone to talk to, and so I was just kind of numb, like going through the motions, didn't really know what I was doing or anything, just trying to...
There is a reason that you found this video, and that reason is because you need to hear this message. There are times that you go through problems in your life or challenges in your life, and you feel like you're the only one going through them, but today I'm here to tell you that you are not the only one, and there are more people who have gone through what you have gone through or even worse, but they were able to overcome that. So today, watch these videos carefully, and I'm sure that you'll get inspired and impacted and motivated by these videos. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also turn the notification on to be the first to view our videos. These videos are taking us a long time to make, so if you just put a like for the YouTube algorithm, it'll be very helpful. See you in the video. What's your name, where are you from, and...
My name is Maureen, and I'm from kind of a little bit of all over, but like I was born in Belleville, Illinois, which is kind of near St. Louis, Missouri.
And have you ever been in a bad situation, and in that bad situation, how were you able to overcome that? What was the scenario like? How did you start? How did it begin?
I had a lot of interpersonal problems with my mom. She's always kind of struggled with mental illness, and while like I don't fault her for that, and that's like I still love her, she just like we were having like a lot of arguments about things, and it kind of culminated because my parents are divorced, and I wanted. I didn't get to see my dad a lot growing up because he is in the U.S. Army, and he got stationed in Iraq and Afghanistan for most of my childhood. And once we moved back to we used to live in Germany for 7 years, and when we moved back to the U.S., the Army told my dad they wouldn't deploy him anymore. And so I have a little brother who's 9 years younger than me, and I wanted my brother to be able to spend more time with my dad than I was able to. But my parents were divorced and my mom had custody of my brother, so we got into fights a lot about that because my mom she was like understandably worried about my brother being with my dad all the time and being so far away from her because she really loves him and cares about him. But I know like I would have really liked to spend more time with my dad that I just didn't get to because it was impossible. And you know, we got into fights a lot because I told her, I was like, I don't want my little brother to like regret not being able to see our dad as much as he could have if he had been given if he had been given the choice. And because of those arguments, my mom kicked me out of the house before my senior year of high school. And I was really worried. I had the option to go live with my dad, but he lived several states away, and I would have lost like all my friends. I would have had to change like my college plans. But my paternal grandmother took me in, and I lived with her for a year. And it took a while. After I graduated high school, living with my grandma, and then started going here to Mizzou. And I had to think a lot about like if I wanted to repair my relationship with my mom, or if I wanted to, because I felt really like jilted in that situation, just because I was like, well, you're my mom, you shouldn't kick me out of the house just because you don't agree with me. But as I got older, like I saw, and my mom started seeing like getting therapy and getting help. But as I got older, I like started to see her side of things more, and like empathizing with her more. And we've grown a little bit closer and talk a little bit more. The thing I've really liked from just like getting older is like gaining more like life experience and being able to empathize with like the people in my life more. Because my mom had, like, just for instance, my mom had me when she was 18, and I didn't realize, like, or at least as a kid, I didn't realize like how young she was for a mom, or how much that like could have affected like her growing up, and like just coming into her own personality. But like I'm turning 25 in May, and if I had like followed the same like path my mom had, I would have a 7-year-old right now, a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old, and that's just, I think of like how ready I am for, you know, something like children are a big responsibility, and I'm like, oof, I couldn't do it, not at 25. So it's helped, just the perspective of like age and my life experiences and meeting different people has helped with, you know, empathizing more with like the people I love. Yeah.
What would you tell people who are going through the same situations? What have you learned from that? What would you suggest that people in that situation?
I guess, you know, if you're, I just like for the instance of people having like interpersonal relationships with their parents, I would say, you know, try to understand their side of things, but your parents do have a lot of like control over things in your life when you're when you're younger than 18. So obviously, you know, you don't have as many choices as you would as an adult. And so I completely understand people who don't, like, they cut off contact with their parents or like don't have a great relationship with their parents, because I'm still working on mine. But you know, I would say just like try to keep an open mind if you can, so you don't like, if it's safe for you to have a relationship with like, you know, your family like that, then don't just throw it away if you don't have to, because it can, you know, I obviously I have a younger sister and a younger brother, and like cutting my mom off completely would mean not being able to see them. And like I worry about their well-being, of course, and their safety. So that's one big reason why I like started to reconnect with my mom, is just so I could see my sister and my brother more and make sure that they're like, as they're getting, because my sister's an adult now, just checking in with them and making sure that they're doing okay. Yeah.
Tell us a story of a time when you were in a bad situation, and how you got out of it.
Okay. Well, this was a story from sophomore year. So basically, it was like around the time when my grandpa passed, and my parents, like, it was a hard time for like my parents, my brothers, and everybody. And so basically, my grades started to slip. And I remember it was, I think it was American history. I started getting like low D's on my test, like, and my average in the class was like turned out to be like a D at the end of the year. And so this was basically like inexcusable for me, because I'm Nigerian, so we're basically supposed to like good grades, like do well in school, like that's what we focus on a lot. But the way I went about it, like I was talking to my counselor and stuff. She was telling me how I can still put in the work, dedicate all the work that I do to my grandpa. So that's what I've been doing right now. I've been dedicating all my work to my grandpa. And over the summer, sophomore year, I decided I'll take summer classes to help boost my grade for the class I was doing bad in. And I ended with the A, because I put in all the work and dedicated it all to my grandpa. And yeah, it was basically, I did it all with the help of my counselor. So.
My name's Maddie. I am from St. Genevieve, Missouri. It's a really small town about an hour south of St. Louis. And I'm majoring in finance.
Cool. Is there a time in your life where you are in a bad situation, and at that time, what were you thinking and how were you able to overcome that?
Yeah. When I was in high school, I lost someone really close to me from cancer, and it was just something that I had never experienced before, and it was really hard to deal with. I didn't really have anyone to talk to, and so I was just kind of numb, like going through the motions, didn't really know what I was doing or anything, just trying to forget about it, substitute other things to try and fill that void, which I never could. And then coming to college, one of the first days I moved in, I met a couple girls who were older than me who just had like this joy to them that I saw that I was missing in my life, and I just knew that they had something that I didn't. And so started hanging out with them, found out that they went to a campus ministry, and so I started going there and just found a relationship with Christ that I had never experienced before. I had grown up all my life thinking that I had one with him, and then they just showed me how to read the Bible for myself and just put my trust completely in Christ, and that's what really helped me process what I was going through and helped me find my way out of that dark tunnel.
Is there another scenario that maybe you were in the same kind of situation, and how were you able to overcome that? Maybe you were in depression, you were in fear, or academic-wise, you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I guess a couple months ago, I was hanging out with some friends and just made some bad choices that I knew I just didn't agree with. They weren't normally me. I just kind of acted that way, and so I was really, really upset with that. And I just didn't know. That wasn't me, and I wasn't okay with that. And I just got really upset and like dark about it and depressed. I was just ashamed of what I had done. And so I talked to a friend, and that was really who helped me through it. Is we talked about it and talked about it like with our religion and everything, and that's how she just helped me through it in a way that I was able to overcome it and depend on her and realize that I'm okay.
Is there any advice that Is there any advice that you can give your fellow students or your fellow people of how they need to react to situations in life?
Yeah.
Or what you have learned in your life?
I'd just say find people who really care about you and that are on the right paths themselves, that they have more life experience than you do, and that can really push you to be a better person, and also love you well and know what's best for you, and just encourage you to do that, because those are the people that helped me get through the darkest times.